Today, I want to talk about how to hire your first virtual assistant or that next first virtual assistant and have it be a successful hire that can really help to free up your founder time so that you can really lean into the role of CEO. Look, if you have never hired anyone for your company before, or if you have tried to hire in the past and it was not a successful relationship, then this video is actually for you. Today, I'm going to talk about how to get crystal clear in what it is that you want that virtual assistant to do for you so that you can have that relationship be successful and really free up your time so you can lean into the role of CEO and grow and scale your business to where you see it in the future. Look, if you tried to hire a virtual assistant before and it didn't work out, or if you're a little bit scared to hire someone, or especially a virtual assistant, into your business right now because you're afraid you're going to have to micromanage that person and it's going to actually take you more time to get them trained and onboarded, then this video is actually for you. Look, I'm here to challenge the belief that it is the experience level of the virtual assistant or their skill set that causes those relationships to be unsuccessful. I'm here to tell you that if you are clear in what it is that you're looking for and what success looks like in the role, and you onboard that person into your business appropriately, then you can have a very successful relationship that is going to free up a ton of your time so that you can really concentrate on the things that are important and grow and scale your business to take it to where you want to go in the future. If you bring a virtual assistant or really anyone into your business without this type of foundational structure and onboarding in place, then that's just like telling them, hey, go to California. That's not useful. You're not giving them a timeline on when they want to be there. You're not giving them directions on how to get there or why they should go in the first place. And so, they may show up 3 weeks too late, and they may show up, driving the wrong vehicle, or, ending up at the wrong destination that's not going to realize the results that you want to have. So we want to take that factor out of this equation. So in this video today, I am going to show you exactly how to onboard your first virtual assistant, even again, if you've never hired anyone before, and have it be successful from the onset. My name is Christy Cox, and I've actually built and scaled multiple businesses, including 2 others of my own. This is my 3rd business now, and I've led teams from all the way from me, just as a solopreneur, all the way up to 100 people, with the majority of those being offshore bookkeepers and virtual assistants. So I have literally seen every version of VA success and failure that you can think of. And most failures that I see are not actually talent issues. They are leadership and clarity issues. So if you're thinking, hey, look, I'm just really not good at managing people, or if you're thinking, hey, I just really know I cannot find a virtual assistant to do exactly what it is that I would need them to do in the way that I would normally do it, well, the good news is I'm here to tell you you are incorrect, and we can do all of those things as long as we have that foundational structure in place. The very first step that you have to take before you can onboard anyone into your business is that you've got to get clear on what it is that you actually want. You can't just start with a task list of things that you want to offboard. You have to actually start with the outcomes and the clarity that you really want from that particular role and the responsibilities that that person is going to own. You got to get clear in the priorities for your business, and that includes your vision, your role within the company, your ideal experience, and those pesky little metrics that you actually want to hit. And then you've got to ask yourself, what do I need this person to do? What is the top priority to remove from my plate to start to get me into that place where I can live within my ideal role? Once you start to get clear in that, you can clearly define the job description that you want this person to do, the key responsibilities that they're going to take over, and what success would look like within the first 30, 60, and 90 days. That is super important when you want to bring in anyone again into your business. They need to know what success looks like and how you're going to measure it. You can't just tell someone, hey, I need you to help me with admin work without giving them some sort of direction. But you can tell them to clear your inbox to 0 within 24 hours every day. Put the questions that you have in a key document, send that to me at the end of the day so that I know what I need to answer on my own, and so that my inbox stays at a constant state of 0, waiting for my attention. This key step is the one that most founders skip when they're either hiring their first virtual assistant or they're trying to rehire after having an unsuccessful relationship before. But it is the key piece, the most important thing that you can do, and it is the one that's going to have your onboarding be super successful, and it's going to set your virtual assistant up for success in the future. All right, guys, I know that hiring can be a scary and complex subject for many. So if you feel like you need a little more individualized support, then click the link below. I host a free live training every single month where I will answer your key questions and give you insights into how to make your next key hire a successful one. The second step in all of this is that you need to create a crystal clear role description and a list of success metrics and responsibilities that that person is going to own. Now, that they're going to do, that they're going to take ownership over. Look, a VA should know how they're going to win, what winning is going to look like. And you should be able to objectively measure exactly what performance looks like for them. Their role description should include their list of core responsibilities, what they're going to own end to end. Yes, I keep using that word own over and over again. And then 2 to 4 ways that you are going to objectively measure success. So some key metrics that are going to define whether or not they are successful in the role that you've created for them. Look, if you can't tell me or anyone else what success looks like for their role, then they don't know either. And that is going to lead to a lack of performance on their side. The third step to a successful onboarding for any virtual assistant, again, or any team member to your business is that you've got to give them access before they start. You've got to give them access to key tools, to the logins that they're going to need. You've got to apply context to everything that they're doing so that they know the why and the purpose behind exactly why you're asking them to do it. And you've got to give them some SOPs. SOPs don't have to be complicated. Just record yourself doing the things that you dislike most or the things that you want them to take over. Then take the transcript, plug it into ChatGPT, and have it give you an SOP pretty quickly. You can take that SOP, plug it into your project management software with a description saying that, hey, I want you to give this a try, and then I'll review your work. And by the way, if you have suggestions for improvement, man, I am all ears in it. Again, you want to give them ownership over what it is that they are doing. You cannot expect anyone to take initiative in your company if you don't give them permission to do so. And you can't expect them to take initiative in your company if you don't give them visibility in organizational tools and a way to communicate with you async that works for the both of you. And little truth bomb here. Look, if you're getting hit with repeat on questions, that is also on your shoulders, not theirs. And we're going to talk about how to set up more clear async communication standards in a separate video. But I promise that if they're hitting you constantly with questions, then you haven't been clear in what those communication rules should be or in the tasks that they're expected to perform. Look, step number 4 here, I need you to define the top 3 priorities that you want them to achieve within their first 90 days. You need to clearly spell out what those priorities are, why you want them accomplished, and what success would look like if they completed them to your standards. Remove any possibilities of those misaligned expectations on your side by being crystal clear in what it is that you want them to do. And then give them the latitude here after you do that to learn and to move forward without having to ask you a ton of questions. Again, go back to that statement that I made in the previous step here. What you want them to do is to take that level of ownership from the very beginning. If you've been crystal clear in what it is that you want them to do and what success looks like, they shouldn't have to ask you a ton of questions. They should be able to perform and then have you review their performance after it's been completed. This is how you remove the possibility of micromanagement and you create alignment and you give them that sense of purpose that they are doing the work that you want them to do within your business. Step number 5, you've got to create the space for one-on-ones that actually work. I go into further detail on this in a later video, but one-on-ones are not your place to have idle chit chat, to really status dump on all the tasks that they're doing, or they're not therapy sessions. They're not your time to just get to know the other person on the other side, although you can make some space for that. What they are the places to review the outcomes that you've created or that you have defined as wanting to be created within your business. They're a time to celebrate the wins that your team members have contributed to. They're a time to identify any constraints that's holding them back from performance and have you help to resolve those constraints on their side. And they're a time to align on priorities or next steps, again, to move your business forward so that you can achieve the overall vision that you have for your company. One of the key reasons I host those live trainings every single month is that most founders were not taught how to have successful one-on-ones. And so I want to help you be successful in your relationship with your virtual assistants and any hires you have within your business. So make sure that you join one in the future. Step number six, you've got to manage your async communication expectations by clearly defining exactly how it can work for you. As a founder and a CEO of your company, your time should be super protected. And honestly, your virtual assistants or your other team members, their time should be protected as well. They've got deep work that they need to do on their side. So after the first 30 days, you've got to clearly lay out what you want that one async message to be, unless urgent matters have come up. And you've got to define what urgent is and then agree on the timeline in which you're going to answer any of those communications. Again, I go into detail on this in a later video, but you've got to start to really set up those async communication expectations so that you're not getting pinged every 5 minutes by a different question from your virtual assistant or that new team member. And step number seven, after 90 days, you've got to make a performance decision. Are they performing or not? If the answer is not, then you need to ask yourself, was I crystal clear in the role that they were to hold within my business? Was I crystal clear in the responsibilities they had? Did I define success and what it would look like? And have we been tracking and measuring their progress? If they're still not performing and you feel that you have been crystal clear, you need to start to give them feedback. And again, if that doesn't result in some key changes, then you've got a critical decision to make on your side. And one more time, I do go into this in a later video in much more detail. So you can find some other answers around what that could look like there. But letting someone continue to struggle on or starting to do their task for them does not solve the main reason that you hired them in the first place. So we've got to resolve this one way or another so that you can get the freedom that you need to really build the business you want. You don't have to have management experience or even be a natural manager or people person to in order to build a great team that is going to perform for you and is going to help elevate your company so that you can scale it to the places that you want it to go. Look, all you have to do is have a great onboarding system in place and then set up your systems and tools and the ways that you communicate on the back end. But all that, it actually starts with clarity. So once you create that clarity, then you've got to set your systems up in order for you to both be successful in what it is that you need to do and that you so that you have visibility into what the other person is doing. I'm going to talk about that a lot more in the next video. And again, if you need a little help in this, please join one of my free monthly live trainings.